All right, folks, the final thing that's going to go into the wife's computer are, I'm just going to put 2 of these case fans in the front. I eventually may go back and add a 3rd one, but I think these are the most important. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be too thick to put one on top, so I've got to find a thinner fan to put in the top of this, or you know, I won't have one directly above the motherboard itself. I'd have one off to the side. Whether that's useful or not is another story. So we'll probably just put the 2 in the front. I'm going to show you how to install some fans in the front of this DIYPC Rainbow Flash S1P mini tower or mid-tower desktop computer. So let's go do this. Now I need to put this upside down. And hopefully I am far enough back that you guys can see this. Let me take a look at the camera first so we can see what we can see. Now I am back in Virginia, folks, after 6 months in good old Hawaii. And I finally got some of my other equipment to do stuff with. And this is a gaming computer for the wife I'm building. So in case you didn't see that, there's an opening up top. I flip this over, pull here, boom. You don't want to pull too hard. You got wires down here you can wreck. And I'm not doing any RGB fans in this yet, just some standard fans. 140 millimeters. And it looks like this will also take 120. So, a couple of things to note. There's this huge cavity here in the front. This is allowing cool air in, but the fan doesn't sit on this side. The fan's going to be on the other side. So, I want to make sure you do that properly. Then the Molex connector needs to be on end up on that left side. Okay, so we want that on the left side. The other aspect is this is the intake side and this is the exhaust side, okay? And in case you don't know that, or later on you forget, on your case fan, which hopefully, let's see if you can see that from this angle, you see the same type deal here. The side that has the structures that holds the hub for the fan, that is the exhaust side, okay? So on this one, it's on the outside, so exhausting that way. Therefore, we want this fan to sit in here like this, okay? So let's go ahead and put it in. Now, to do this, you're going to need probably Phillips number 1 or number 2. And, you know, sometimes it helps to have a hand as well. I'm going to run this one through the top here. Now, I'm not going to put 3 fans in here. I don't have a hard drive going into it. And, you know, we could obviously put one in, and later maybe I'll add a additional one in here. So the other thing is we need our screws that go with this. These guys here, okay? 4 of those, and now I might not even have 4 on me. I might have to go looking. So I'm going to put these 2 in this top one and the mid section. Now the fun thing is trying to find these holes. It would almost be nice if they'd, to contrast it, put a little white circle around where the opening is. Alright, so we got that. We got this one. We're just going to feed it a few threads, and then I'm going to go add an additional one. Later, if you make it too tight, it'll be hard to align these up. So, always a good idea. Now, potentially I have shot myself in the foot, folks. It looks like I did. We need to be up one more probably. So I'm going to move this up one. So this is a 140 millimeter fan. And you would have thought that would have been the spot, but it looks like right here is probably a better spot. And this will work out good if I don't have one in the bottom, because this won't be in the way. Now eventually I will replace this with some kind of RGB fan, and that's only a matter of time. Now I want to do the one diagonally from it, which will help me, it'll make it easier for the other holes. And it also helps if you don't have a second set of hands to have a magnetic head on your screwdriver. Alright, so got those in, not all the way. Now we've got to put another one in. Now ideally, if you're going to build this correctly and you have the money, you would put 3 fans in the front, find 2, I'll say low profile type fans for the top, depending on your CPU cooler. Like the CPU cooler I have in there right now is actually kind of would interfere with fans on top, it looks like. Before we get into putting the fan in, you would think this would hold 340 millimeter fans. The style that I have, it does not look like it does. So one thing to do when we first put this in, we're only going to put 2 screws on it so we can check to see if we can line up the holes for the second fan. In this situation I can't, so I'm going to move these up, and that's where we'll start the video. So I'm going to basically attach this fan in the slot right here, okay, across from this fastener here, and that's where I'll pick up the video. So we're doing a fan installation. We're going to put 2 fans in the front. These won't have lights. If they had lights, it would look kind of hokey to only put 2 in. Now I've got a Phillips, I think this is either number 1 or number 2, magnetic head on it, and this is holding up the screws. This will hold up the screws that we put the fan blade in. All right, so one thing you want to do is route the cable for your fan, the power, to the back. So we're going to use the Molex, and there was a hole up top here in the case that you're going to fish this through. So let's just start over from the beginning. There is our connector. We're going to fish it through the top, up and over. And I say top, this is actually the area where the PSU is, so the PSU shroud. So we want to make sure that that is on that side. The other thing you want to do is, this is the intake side, okay? No obstructions on it. The outtake side, the exhaust side, has the structure that holds the fan hub. Okay, let's try and get this in here. And I know from, laying this out that we've got to put this fan all the way at the top. This isn't ideal because we have a structure going across it. So potentially a 140 millimeter fan, probably not the best fan for this case. At least 3 of them. 2 of them isn't bad. I might be, at least with this style, it's going to be difficult to put 3 fans in. So we'll also make the connection for the Molex. Now for this style of fan, definitely connect. I'm definitely going to connect it in the, let's see, what would be the left-hand access panel, just to hide the cables. All right, so we put 2 in on this. Let's put the second one in. So same deal here. I want it looking like this. This is the intake side. The wire is going to be on this side of it, which is, every time I think about this, this will be on the actual left-hand side. And so we will run this through there. There's a gap in the bottom of the case. Hopefully you can see that in the video. There's our wire moving around. There's a gap down at the bottom. I was able to fish this through. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in. Now this one, we'll have it sit as low as we can and hopefully center it on this opening. And unfortunately, it doesn't allow me to move it up one more. But we'll see. Okay, so there's the opening. All right, so you don't want to tighten it all the way down. You want to be able to adjust it. And now potentially, I mean, it looks like I should be able to move the top one down, which I will do. I'll let it slide down in its slot. But I won't be able to move it down one more slot. So we'll just loosen this up. All right, so try and square it up a little bit more on the hole. We've got this spaced out pretty good. Now, you know, I'm going to save camera time, but I'm going to go through in tight place or put all these screws in. I'll leave that for you guys to do on your own. Next part of the video, we'll attach the Molex connectors. All right, so they're all in. Let's go ahead and put the front case back on. Snaps in place, boom. You want to make sure the wires that are attached, that you don't have any interference. Now, I obviously have not cleaned this computer up yet, so that is one of the steps later on to do. And what I need to do is find a Molex connector. There aren't a whole lot on this power supply, but you can kind of daisy chain all these. So we'll just make this connection. This can only fit in one way, so we'll connect that. And then I need to find the other one. There it is. So we can do the same thing here. And we can get on there. These things are not the easiest to connect sometimes. There we go. So boom, that's good. Obviously later I'll go back and I'll clean this mess up. But that's going to do it, folks. That's how you put fans in the front of the case for this. Standard fans. Thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.